Hi there, this is Dolopo, and I'm just going to make a little video today talking about pressure on women to perform in society, especially when it comes to our careers. And part of my expertise here at Elements in Harmony Acupuncture.com is helping women and men become parents. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I thought I really want to share this message. When women come here for fertility, quite a number of them, and this is my 23rd year in practice, a high percentage of these women are peak performers. They've excelled in their careers, and quite a few of them regret having had to do that at the cost of their infertility condition, whether that's natural, IUI, or IVF. And so my message today is to take off the pressure from yourself. And you don't need to work so hard. You don't need to work so many hours. If you're over 35 years old, you may want to start figuring out how to adjust your lifestyle so you can be more relaxed, so you can create this family that you want. That is the message I really want to share today. But you have to understand this behavior pattern, that didn't just happen 35 years old and above. It started when you were probably in high school or earlier, or especially college, in graduate school, and maybe doctorate or medical school or anything like that. If I've done over 50 plus videos on women's health, and I've done well over 25 videos regarding fertility. And you can go to those videos when it comes to specifically what I recommend for fertility, and I really break down quite a few topics. But this topic today is basically be gentle on yourself. And I say this over and over and over in my videos. I see these women feeling desperate and sad and scared and no ability to control things. And it's in that need for control where, it's creating the blockage for you. I had a woman who was a lawyer, and she said to me, what was the fastest time frame that you had got a woman pregnant? And I said, I didn't like the question, and I knew it was coming after, and I said, a month. She said, I'm gonna get pregnant sooner than that. I had my babies at 30, 36, and 43, and not once did I tell myself, I gotta have a baby this year. That pressure is not helping your hormones. And I can break that down, how that affects you neurologically, how it affects you in your gynecological issues. But I'm just gonna tell you right now, putting that pressure on yourself, it's not gonna work that way. I've had women really break down on me multiple times over the last 2+ decades of the desperation and the and the feeling of guilt and not being able to feel adequate in order to become a mom. And it's just not a good feeling. And also I talk about sperm and sperm quality, and your husband needing to also be here for treatments, because a third of the issues, and I posted this online, this is on PubMed, National Institutes of Health, a third of infertility issues are the man, a third of them is a woman, and a third is both. So why are you putting all the pressure on yourself? Your husband has to come home early, and he has to want to have sex with you. If he's tired because he's been working all day, that is an issue. The fertility issues are just as much his issue as much as it may be yours. So stop putting all the pressure on yourself. There is this tremendous amount of pressure on women to perform in our society. I'm done answering people where my daughter's gonna go to college. Don't ask me. To me, that's the same thing as asking women, when are you gonna have a baby? that, unless you're going to contribute to her college, unless you're going to contribute to her car and her insurance and all that, don't ask me, because that's only for her dad and me to decide. I'm happy with just her being her, just being alive. You have no clue what we've gone through for the past 1.5 to 2 years with the whole COVID and staying home and not socializing. I'm happy she's alive because I know some parents who don't have their kids anymore because they committed suicide during COVID. And I have no problem telling that to people, because the mental distress, the health on kids and children during that time frame was beyond sad. So for me, I'm just happy that my daughter's alive. But when people, no matter what I tell you, if I say she's going to go to a junior college as opposed to Harvard, you're going to have your judgments. If I tell you she's going to go to state school instead of UC, you're going to have your judgments. If I tell you that, oh, I decided she doesn't need to go to college, you're going to have your judgments. And so that's for my family and my daughter to decide. But at the end of the day, that's for her to decide. A month ago, I texted my mom my GPA for my doctorate. Last month, I was student of the month for my doctorate. I didn't even know that was a thing. Why am I still doing that to my mom for myself? Why am I still texting my mom my GPA? Why am I still telling her I got all A's and 1B, and that 1B is an 89%? Why am I doing that? Because it was ingrained in me to perform. It took me a long time to heal from tremendous anxiety and depression, that feeling to perform and outdo everyone else. It's not fun, but I've learned how to be a lot calmer about things and accept certain things. And I'm okay with knowing I can't help every woman become a mom. I'm okay with knowing I can't help every man become a father. But what I can do is share some information. I've done videos on miscarriages, preventing miscarriages. I've done videos on IUI, IVF, natural fertility. If you go to elementsInHarmonyAcupuncture.com, you'll see the section on fertility, pregnancy care, and also on preparing for birth. You'll see those, and I take it very seriously here. But the message I really want to share with people is take the pressure off yourself. And I'm going to start with my daughter. No pressure to perform. When she goes to her dance competitions, I don't say, you better do well. I tell her, have fun. Have fun. Do what you got to do to have fun. This is supposed to be fun. This is playtime. You know, and when they do place, or they do get this or that, or first place, second place, platinum and anything, okay, fine, good. Good for you. My daughter's concert master. And that was a decision she made. That's a decision she made, and I relish in that. So I'm not looking at what she's gonna do after May or June, because I'm relishing right now who she is and what she's doing as a senior in high school. If I start looking so much in the future, when she probably won't be at home and she's gonna be away and independent for college, then I'm not living in the now. So hopefully she can see my behavior now as a mom that, I'm just happy she's alive. So you women going through fertility issues, be happy, number one, that you're alive. And take the pressure off yourself. Take the pressure off yourself. Just be happy that you have someone to make a baby with. And for you who are 35 and over, 40 plus and over, just, be okay with not making as much money. Be okay with cutting your hours. Be okay with quitting your job if your husband can afford to take care of you both. Because your job, your career, your determination to excel and do better than everyone else in your career, in your industry, at your company, is probably creating the blockages from having amazing sex, having a high libido, and having perfect periods and a perfect health. And when people say, well, you had your second and third babies at 36 and 43. Yeah, but I've also been receiving acupuncture and Chinese herbs and chiropractic and massage since age 20. So when I was able to conceive at 29 years old and give birth at 30, 36, and 43, I had a 10 year, I had a lot of health issues when I was 18, 19, 20 that people don't know about. You see me now as a 48-year-old. You don't know what my health was like back then. There are things that I do, like today I did a ripped class and I did a hip hop class on a Saturday when I could have been working. But I need those in order to run a family of 5. I need that for my mental health. And so when I write down my workout schedule for my patients, look, this is what I do on Tuesdays, this is what I do on Wednesdays, this is what I do on Fridays. And I didn't work out yesterday, I worked more hours so then I can do that today because it was my hip hop teacher's birthday. And I wanted to be there to sing happy birthday with all my friends. It comes at a cost. I can easily just work 5-6 days straight, but then when do I have time with my kids? I know asking some of you fertility clients to cut your hours, that's like, it's not possible. Well, I'm gonna tell you, when you're 45, 50, you might wanna look back and say, my acupuncturist advised me to change my lifestyle. Your need for control is blocking you from creating the family you want. And that is hard to hear. And it's just as hard to deliver. But at this phase in my life, 23 years in practice, I don't hold back. So I bring up the thing with my daughter. She asked me over a year ago, she said in orchestra, all these kids are taking AP classes and advanced courses, and she didn't feel as smart. And I said, did it ever occur to you that I never demanded those classes from her? And as a junior, she enrolled herself in 2 college classes at a junior college on her own without consulting me. I was very proud of her for that. She did that on her own. She enrolled in a finance class and something else. That was a decision she made. And I said, the reason why I never forced you to take all those advanced courses is because that's the path I took. And I put so much pressure on myself. And I knew that if I put that on you, I would have put this wrath of education and expectation on you. And there's not one woman who's been here for fertility that hasn't gone through that. Tremendous pressure. So please, think about how more people have decorum now to not ask a woman, when are you gonna have a baby? Think of it like this. Don't ask a kid what college are you gonna go to? Unless you're paying for that college, that's none of your business, because you're putting pressure on these kids and you have no clue, unless you've had a kid at home during COVID, 2020, 2021, you have no clue what we've gone through. And I have 3 kids. You have no clue what we had to go through just to keep them alive and healthy and safe and sane. It was beyond miserable for many parents. And I'm grateful that we came out with my children alive, because there are parents who can't say the same. So take off the pressure off your kids and take off the pressure on yourself and just be happy. I never quit Qigong since I was 20. I never did Qigong to get pregnant. I did Qigong in order to stay healthy. There's a difference in my mindset. So please focus on being healthy. There are activities that I ask you to do, and it's to help you. It shouldn't feel like drudgery and it shouldn't feel like work. But I can tell you, you get what you think about most of the time. And if your attitude is fear that I can't get pregnant, fear that I get pregnant, well, I need you to change some of your neural pathways so that you can envision yourself as becoming a mom. Those women who are pregnant right now, I have at least 5 right now, who got pregnant naturally. Guess what? They were able to have more sex and have more fun and have higher libidos. And you know what that took? Them cutting their hours. And these are women, high level, high peak performance women. And I'm grateful to say some of them are Asian. And that means a lot to me, because sometimes, if not more often than not, Asian women are very hard to help get pregnant, because there's this, and I can identify, there's this attitude of, I have to do it. I have to get pregnant. Otherwise, if I can't get pregnant, then everyone's going to think less of me. You don't have to perform, and you don't have to meet other people's expectations. And I strongly encourage you, if you're over 35 years old, stop doing things to make other people happy, including your husband. Take a deep reflection, reflect within, and think, what is it that I want? Why do I want to be a mom? And what am I willing to do to achieve that goal? So I bring up my daughter because that's an example, taking the pressure off, stopping the pressure before it starts. And I tell her, if anyone asks you and you don't feel comfortable answering, just tell them I'm going to go to college and get a job. Nip it in the bud, so that people just, you're telling them what they want to hear. And if they ask more questions, just tell them, what is it that you want me to do with my life? So if you come to me with those questions, I'm going to tell you it's none of your business, or I'm just going to change the subject. Because unless you're contributing financially to that and, you know, the endeavors that my daughter has for the next, you know, 2 to 10 years, then it really means nothing. I don't want anyone to put pressure on my daughter. And every parent should feel the same way. All right, so if you are here for fertility, please take the pressure off yourself and stop looking at a timeline and stop looking at how many treatments have I had. It's all there on my website, what you should expect. It's all there, what you should expect. 6 to 12 cycles, 12 to 18 cycles, 2 to 3 years. You cannot force Mother Nature to change things. You cannot force Mother Nature to rush her. You cannot rush Mother Nature. And you can't go against Mother Nature. The more you go against her, the more she's going to push back. And I can tell you who's stronger. It's not you. Mother Nature is far stronger. If you climb up Mount Yosemite or Mount Everest and Mother Nature has stronger willpower than you, you will perish. You will barely survive, or you will perish. So go with Mother Nature. And hopefully what I have to share with you on my website regarding fertility and also having conceived naturally myself is enough for you to go by, that you can trust some of the things that I have to say. I'm walking evidence that following your heart and taking the pressure off works. I worked many years and didn't make much money just to have my kids. And for those of you know that I train martial arts, I didn't train anything for 8 years. The moment I found out I was pregnant at 29, I stopped training for 8 years. And that was a sacrifice I made. So if you want to be a mommy, you have to ask yourself, what am I willing to give up? What sacrifices am I willing to give in order to achieve my goals? Because I can tell you right now, I still sacrifice quite a bit in order to achieve my goals and be a mom. And it's okay. It's okay. All right, have a great day.